6:19 back here at home. For the past 30+ years, a group of people have been working to preserve land in southwest Montana and preserve a way of life quickly diminishing in the face of growth. I recently visited with the executive director of the Gallatin Valley Land Trust as the group achieved a milestone recently in conservation. This is probably what most of us think of when we think of the Gallatin Valley Land Trust. Trails.
The trails component is about half of what the Land Trust does. We stand today at almost 90 miles of trails that we've helped to create, and with our partners in the city and the county and many other groups. But we also are about protecting habitat and working farms and ranches, and we do so with a tool called a conservation easement.
Those easements allow landowners to keep their agricultural or wilder lands for use, knowing they will never be turned into subdivisions or city services.
There are places that are too special to turn into a subdivision, and we work proactively with those families to make sure that their lands are not developed, but also to make sure that they're compensated fully for what they're giving back to the community.
And for the past 30+ years, the Gallatin Valley Land Trust has been doing just that. In fact, this spring just completed its 50,000th acre. To put that in perspective, that's about 4 times the size of the city limits of Bozeman, or 28 times the size of the MSU campus.
We heard recently that in the 30 years that it's taken us to protect 50,000 acres, that some 100,000 acres in this county has been turned into subdivisions. So in that case, that's sort of sobering.
Working crews sit down with landowners and family members, learning what they'd like to see happen with the land, but also learning about what has already happened on that land over the years, or in many cases, decades for these families.
Also know that there's other people that aren't in the room that have passed on, and these families are building on the legacy of their forefathers, and sometimes grandpa's buried on the property, or grandma was born in the building that we're sitting in, and that kind of tie to the land that these families have is not something that us newcomers can emulate, and it's great to help these families keep that legacy pass it on to their kids.
At first, work says it was challenging to get folks interested in conservation easements. Now, word of mouth has definitely helped.
This fall we will be working with a family up in the Spring Hill area. We worked with the cousins last year, and when their cousins did a deal and they saw that it worked out, that was enough for other family members to say, hey, why don't we do it on my piece as well? When you get to know these families and their land, and you see the passion that they have for that place, and you see what we as community members get from the deer that are born there and the trout that spawn there and the scenery that it protects, you fall in love with these places almost as much as the families. And when I drive by them and I see that they're still open, still available, still beautiful, I just have pride. It doesn't scare me to think that we're having a long-lasting impact.
And work says the work will go on because the need to save these spaces also goes on.
I feel like there's a lot of people who want clean air and clean water, and that's what we're helping to provide in this community.
From the more than 90 miles of visible effort to the more than 50,000 acres of land you may not know existed, the work of the Gallatin Valley Land Trust will continue. In fact, right now it has the largest staff it's ever had to manage its current projects and, of course, those into the future. In Bozeman, Chet Lehman, MTN News. Now, it's important to note not all of those 50,000 acres are in Gallatin County. GVLT has worked and continues to work with landowners in Park and Marr counties as well.